Hey friends, hey, happy to see you again here. Just let me open this whole video here, and sorry, let's. I'll be available on the live chat also, just to see the various stuff that is coming along. Okay, sounds good. So a quick update. Okay, let's wait for a couple of minutes for others to join. We have a couple of important announcements to make. So we have heard a lot of very interesting and good feedback from all of the students. I believe some of you who attended the previous live session also gave us some good feedback on how to conduct and better do these live sessions. So currently we are solving the practice problems, right? So some students suggested, why don't we have some doubt clarification session also, right? So let's wait for a couple of minutes for others to join. I also have a couple of announcements. And we'll discuss again. We'll have to experiment. We don't know what is the right solution always. In a truly scientific methodology, we'll experiment with various things and converge on the best that is in the optimal interest of students. How to avoid distractions while preparing for GATE? Abhay, that's a good question, Abhay. One thing that I often do, which works very well, is to have fixed timings. This is a very standard strategy. Tell yourself that every day from this time to this time, you would sit only on GATE, right? Come what may, whatever happens. And that becomes a habit, right? So it's a very, very useful habit. It helps you a lot typically in the real world. It's important. See, imagine the moment you wake up, right? You brush and then eat something. Why are you doing that? Because you're so used to doing it for the last 20 or so years, right? So it's very important. So that's a part of habit building. So my suggestion here is fix a specific time. You could say every day I'll start study from 6 to 7 in the morning and 8 to 9. Come what may, unless you have a medical emergency or a family emergency, you're going to sit in that period of time and study for GATE. Close off all the tabs. No YouTube, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Snapchat, nothing. Just turn off every other thing. Just watch the videos, make your notes, solve problems. That if you don't have that sort of focus and commitment, you'll not make it. To be honest, let's not beat around the bush here. Okay. And the best way to avoid distractions is to fix a time. Tell your family and friends that please don't disturb me during this period of time. I intend to study. And most of your friends and family will respect that. Trust me. That's something that works very well for me also even today. Of course, I try and do the best of my. I try and do it to the best of my ability. I fix certain hours and say during these hours I'm going to create content, or I'm going to answer students' questions, or I'm going to prepare notes. Right? That's how I personally do it. Anyway, since we are 2-3 minutes into it, so a couple of announcements that I wanted to make. The first one being the answers for practice test 8, right? So the practice test 8 is AVL trees and hashing that we have discussed in the last few days. The answers for all of them have been uploaded, pre-recorded and uploaded to the course videos itself after the hashing chapter. You can go to the desktop app right now. We just uploaded them a few minutes back. So you can actually go to the desktop app right now and you'll see these 15 questions with detailed answers for every question. Okay, because this was one of the suggestions that came up from some of our students. And what they suggested us was this: for the live sessions, what if instead of covering the problems, the solutions to problems, why don't okay, I'll come to Mahesh question. So let me go back here. Where was I? Yeah, so the live test, right? So the practice problems. So we have already solved all the practice problems, and the problems are readily available. Please go through them. For any video, be it be course content or problems, if you do not understand anything, please put a comment below that video. And if you see comments from others which you think we should answer in live sessions, just upvote them. You can upvote and downvote questions, right? So please upvote and downvote. So what we'll experiment with in live sessions is, so let's assume some content was finished. For example, today, let's say AVL trees and hashing problem set was discussed. The solutions to that were given. And in the next 3 days or so, we'll discuss some graph theoretic algorithms and graph theoretic data structures. And on Wednesday live session, all the questions you have, please put it in the comment section under the video. We'll go through each of the comments which are most upvoted and most interesting and most important, both in problem set 8 and in the questions of graph theory, right? We'll go through both of them and we'll pick up the best questions and the most upvoted questions and answer all of them. That way, the questions that most students have would get clarified. That's our objective, right? Because we have limited 1.5 hour session for live every 3 days. We want to cover the most asked and most requested questions. Of course, every comment you put in would get answered in 48 hours. In addition to that, we will discuss them for the benefit of everyone. Okay, number one. So this is a new model that we are experimenting with. Let's see how this goes. Of course, we would need your feedback and suggestions to continuously improve here. So Mahesh has a question, which is, why have you changed the teaching interface? The old one was good with those colors. I think it's the same interface, right? It's the same black background with some colors here and there. And the reason we have, so some students have asked us, why do you have black background and some colors on top of it? The reason for that is we have observed that a lot of students watch our videos at night time. If you're in a dormitory or in a hostel, you may not have enough bright lights, and that could hurt you. So we wanted to have color or the lighting or the color coding for all of our videos to be dark, so that even if you watch it with lights off or in low lighting, it doesn't hurt you. Number one. Number two, having a white background consumes more battery for your laptop and your mobile phones. Number one. Number two is so that you can watch more of video. Okay, we thought about all these parameters. Also, it hurts your eyes, especially if you're watching white screen for too much time. It hurts more than black screen. So that's why we are using black screen for most of our videos. Number one. So how to study for GATE along with work or during semester exams? Very good question. So just the way I was answering earlier, if you're working, actually, I have a lot of good friends who cracked GATE with single digit or very low double digit numbers, who are my classmates at Indian Institute of Science. I have a lot of friends who are working professionals. What they did was very interesting. And some of them even had shifts, by the way. So what they would do is they would fix a specific duration of time and say, in this period of time, I will not work on anything. I'll just prepare for GATE. If you're spending 2 to 3 hours for GATE consistently for 10 to 12 months, your chances of getting GATE are very high. But you have to be fully focused, no distractions, and consistently you have to do it. If you do consistent, just imagine if you do consistently for 2 to 3 hours a day, right? In a year's time or 300 days, which is roughly 10 months, right? So in 10 months, you're literally spending 600 to 900 hours, which is a pretty good amount of time to do all the content and to practice sufficiently. Okay, please spend that time. And if you have semester exams, that's a tricky place for semester exams, because you know the exact date of the semester exam. If you could prepare prior itself, that's what I used to do. I used to prepare most of my semester exam content earlier itself when I was a student at undergraduate level. And during the exams, I would prepone a little. I'd squeeze in, squeeze out. Probably I'm spending smaller amounts of time at that period of time. But I will try and see, worst case, what will happen. I'll miss some of those. Some of those days I will not be able to put in full effort. I'll compensate for that over weekends. That's why if you notice, we give you content only for 5, at most 6 days a week. The rest of the 2 days, we want you to revise, as well as if you've missed something, to go through that. Because it's possible that you might have gotten busy on a day or two, right? We are giving that buffer period so that you could revise. So if you have semester exams, you could use those weekend days to catch up faster, right? Yeah, so let's continue on that. And equally importantly, so this is a new experiment for the live sessions. Please cooperate, and please don't forget to put in all of your questions and upvote questions of others that you think are important, right? Of course, you'll get new content this weekend. Please revise AVL trees, hashing, etc. They're important questions. While AVL trees, you may not get many questions in GATE, because traditionally the number of questions that you get from AVL trees is few. Hashing is something very important. You get a lot of questions, and there are some concepts in hashing which are in the intersection of hashing and probability theory, like for example expectations and things like that. Also, there are some concepts in counting, right, that you need to solve some hashing based problems. We will anyway go and solve these problems when we do discrete mathematics. right? So the way we are imagining right now is we'll finish data structures algorithms, then we'll start with C programming. Once C programming is over, we'll start with mathematics. We'll try and finish as much math as possible before we start the next subject. That's what we are planning for right now. And when we do mathematics, one of the first topics we'll do is called counting, okay, which is basically your combinations, permutations, basics of probability, etc. So some of the problems in hashing, especially in gate, will have overlap with probability and counting. We will cover them there again, right? So there are some of these hops that you have to make. There are some questions which require knowledge of more than one chapter or one subject. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is applied AI course itself, right? Yeah, we are planning to actually finish most of the content for batch one by late August, worst case early September. Of course, we'll have to see if some students may have exams, there might be requests to slow down and all of that. We are planning to try and finish, at least for the first batch, by late August, worst case early September, so that they get ample time because they started early, right? They should get ample time to prepare and practice and things like that. So that's our plan right now. Oh yes, so when we learn probability, we'll revisit hashing again. Don't worry about that. We'll solve problems again in the intersection of hashing and probability. So we'll keep doing that. Again, in discrete mathematics, we'll encounter graph theory. And now next week, from Monday to Wednesday, we'll be studying some graph theoretic algorithms, right? So again, there will be some overlap, okay, of what we are studying in data structures algorithms and what we will study in discrete mathematics. Okay, there are all of these interconnections in computer science, and it's impossible to cover everything in one shot. So we'll keep them, like for example, I think for 15th question today, that question requires you to understand something called as the birthday paradox problem, which is a very interesting problem in probability theory and combinatorics, right? In counting, basically. So I intentionally left it blank there. I said this we will cover again when we go to probability. Intentionally I did it, but I also provided you some additional material. If you're curious, if you're interested, you can always read that up if you already are comfortable with probability. But we'll again revisit that problem when we go to probability chapter. Okay. So, okay, sounds good. So one other major announcement, we're very fortunate. So we started mentoring a few students last year for the last 3-4 months of GATE. As part of applied GATE course, we conducted a few mock tests. We talked to hundreds of students and mentored them on areas that they need to improve, where they're lacking based on the test performance. And we mentored them for about 3 to 4 months. And some of the students have gotten very good ranks. It's very, very encouraging for us. And some of them have called us from yesterday evening and said, thank you very much. Your mock tests and personalized guidance that we provided was extremely useful, because we would call a student and say, hey, you're making mistakes at this part. Probably you want to go back, revise this chapter or revise this section in this topic. Probably you want to practice more problems. We would give them more practice problems and stuff like that. Some of the students have called us. It's very encouraging to see that the first batch of students that we closely mentored for 3-4 months last year have gotten very good results. If you are a GATE CSE 2019 student, or if your friends are GATE CSE 2019 students, we've just announced both on our website and on our YouTube channel. Anybody who requires guidance, right? Because there will be a lot of confusion once you get GATE ranks on which university or which institute to pick up, which course or which major or which specific topic you should pick up, right? There is a lot of confusion. I had this confusion even with the GATE All India Rank 2. Trust me, okay? I was not sure whether I should go to Indian Institute of Science or IIT Bombay or Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and all of that. I had this concern myself, right? So any student, whatever rank they have, whether they're qualified or not, whether they got a rank below 500 or above 1000, whatever rank you got, if you have friends who need guidance, please ask them to go to our website and the YouTube channel, fill up a form. We thought we'll provide this free guidance to as many students as we can. Trust us, we will not be able to do it for every student because there are thousands of students and we have limited manpower. But we thought we'll try and attend to as many students as possible on a first come first serve basis, like your queue, right? Your queue is a first come first serve or a FIFO data structure, right? So very similar to a queue, we would try and attend and guide to the best of our ability. Again, our guidance will be, our team consists of people from all the major institutes. Like I can give you a lot of data points about Indian Institute of Science. We have teammates who have studied at major NITs, major IIITs, major IITs. And we have a pretty broad spectrum of friends. We've studied in almost every major institute in India, including NUS Singapore. For those of you who don't know, NUS Singapore is one of Asia's best institutes, which actually accepts GATE rank for Indian students, right? So I have some friends who have done their PhD at NUS. So we'll try and give you the a career guidance that we would give to our family and friends, right? And we're planning to do this free of cost, just to the benefit of students who may be confused, who may be disoriented. And trust me, the top 500 rankers will be very happy, but there are thousands of students who have put in an year of effort and they're not happy with the result. And we want to guide them in the right direction, and we'll do it to the best of our ability and to the best of our knowledge. Okay, so yeah, so mobile app, we're still working on it. We had some bugs with the mobile app. We tried to launch it. There were some bugs with the Google App Store and with Google Play Store. We're just fixing some of these things. We'll have it ready as soon as possible. We're working full throttle on that. Also, these were the couple of major announcements that I had to make. Please go through all the 15 problem solutions. And anyway, you'll get new content starting Monday. Revise all the content for this week. Please check out all the solutions for all the 15 problems. And yeah, so that's the plan for now. So we'll terminate this session slightly early without discussing problems, because the problems have already been recorded. Any question you have, please comment under the videos and under the problems also. So that, see, there might be some brilliant students out there who can suggest better ways of solving the problem. We would love to hear from you, right? There might be students who could find good shortcuts, right? So we have some younger students, some younger folks in our team who've come up with brilliant shortcuts. Trust me, I could never imagine thinking of a shortcut like that. I would try to solve a problem more rigorously, and somebody would say, "Hey, Verma, why are you doing all of this? Why don't we take the shortcut?" So we would love to hear better solutions from you. If you have a solution, anything you want to discuss about the video, please put it in the comment section, and we'll try and respond back to you as soon as possible. Okay. Sounds good. So anything else that you want me to discuss, since we're anyway here? Just shoot those questions and I'll try to answer as many as possible in the next few minutes. And we were also planning, again, we'll announce this on our YouTube channel and also on our website. We are also hoping to conduct some live sessions in addition to the live sessions that we have now, for those students who have taken GATE CSC 2019, so as to help them and answer as many questions as possible from our side. Trust me, I've been through this journey. Many of our teammates have been through this journey. It's very, very important to get good guidance post-GATE, whether you got a good rank or not. Okay, there is a huge spectrum of emotions and decisions that you will be part of, and we would like to help you to the best of our ability. Okay, sounds good, folks. Anything else that you want me to discuss here? Since we are if there is anything, do let me know here. Otherwise, just shoot an email. Some of you have sent us emails. Thank you very much for detailed emails with plans and with ideas. So Arnab has this good question. So are you planning for a harder problem set for students who are dropping 1 year or who are familiar with GATE content? We're still thinking on it because we'll just give us some time. One thing that I can tell you while we work on it is this is a standard, very, very, very decent way. So if you're already finished with the content as per our schedule, for example, if you're already finishing, if you can finish the content in under 2 hours, right? Or if you already know the content and if you're able to solve the practice problems easily, my suggestion for you is to pick up a standard textbook like CLRS, right? It's a terrific textbook. If you have time on your hand and if you want to solve harder problems, the best source is standard textbooks. Pick up CLRS, look for the chapter. For example, we discussed hash tables, right, in the last couple of days. Pick up the chapter for hash tables. You have some terrific problems there. Start solving them. And by the way, you would also find CLRS answers, but please don't check them out. First, try to solve the problem. Struggle with it for a couple of days. If you can't solve it, you can always find the answers online. Okay. So my best suggestions, if you want to solve harder problems, is CLRS. Trust me, if you can solve most of the problems in a textbook, for data structures and algorithms at least, if you can solve all the practice problems in CLRS, that's more than sufficient. Because some of these problems were assignment problems for us when after I joined in Institute of Science, right? So we were taught by Professor Kavita, who is a terrific teacher. She's now a faculty member at TAFR, and she would literally say CLRS has some of the best very interesting problems at both undergraduate and graduate level. And our assignment problems were mostly the harder problems in CLRS. So if you can solve CLRS problems, if you have additional time, right? If you have additional time, please solve the problems in CLRS for these chapters, right? You can that's straightforward staring at you, right? So for example, there is a chapter called hash tables. Go there, try to solve as many problems as possible. That is, nothing beats that preparation, trust me. I mean, you might solve hundreds of problems, but if you solve, like, because they don't have options, right? In CLRS, they'll give you a problem. You'll have to work out the detailed solutions. There's no ABCD, but your foundations become super strong. So similarly, for every book, we will suggest, for every chapter or for every textbook, for every course or for every subject, we will suggest you a good book from which you can start solving exercise problems if you have additional time or if you are preparing for GATE again. Okay, so my suggestion for you right now is CLRS for whole of data structures algorithms. If you have more time on your hand, just start with CLRS chapter 1, right? All the topics that are there in GATE syllabus, let's start from starting, right? You could start from asymptotic analysis, you could do insertion sort. There are tons of brilliant problems, and what we have observed is very often the harder problems in GATE are actually picked from CLRS and they're modified. Because look at it this way, right? Where do most of the professors at IITs and IISc, they also have to design these GATE questions, right? They don't want to make them too hard, not too easy. And for them, they anyway teach from textbooks like CLRS, Sedgwick, etc. So it's very easy for them to take an exercise problem from there, modify it slightly, and actually construct a GATE question, right? So for GATE itself, you don't require to practice programming extensively, to be honest, because GATE does not have a programming round. But if you're preparing for product-based companies, then certainly you should practice programming. We are working on a course right now that we'll announce in a few days, which will have all of the content of data structures, algorithms, programming, etc. But it is more designed towards product-based companies, right? So we are working on that course right now. We'll hopefully launch in the next month or so. We're still working on it. We'll try and do it as fast as possible. That course is more programming oriented. That course is not GATE oriented. It's purely about how do I crack a job interview at Microsoft or Amazon or Salesforce or Netflix or Google or Facebook, etc. Right? So or even for smaller or even for services companies, not smaller, even for services companies like TCS, Infosys. So it's a course that we're designing to cater to a wide spectrum of students who are preparing for software engineering roles. Okay, we're still working on it. So somebody is asking GATE 2021. Okay, GATE 2021 is 2 years from now, right? Okay, let me give you my personal suggestion. I started preparing for GATE after my second semester. Okay, so because again, in those days, I could take my GATE exam in third year and that score was valid even after my fourth year. In your case, if you're a second year, if you've just finished second year right now, you cannot take the GATE exam during your third year. But there is nothing wrong with preparing everything. Just prepare everything. Take all the mock tests of all the major institutes, right, including ours. Just prepare. There is nothing wrong in preparing early on. So that, see, if you prepare for GATE thoroughly in your third year of BTech, right, in your fourth year of BTech, you could focus on product-based companies. Also, you could refocus on GATE much more easily. In my fourth year, my GATE preparation was literally solving the last 20 years of question papers. That's it. Because I did all of my preparation during my third year. So if you have time on your side, there is nothing better than that. You could start your preparation this year itself, prepare thoroughly, participate in mock tests. Imagine as if you're taking the test this year. While the GATE Council will not allow you to take the exam this year, prepare as if you're taking the exam this year and put in all the effort. Next year will be a cakewalk. Okay, that's what I would suggest. Yes. Jay is asking if he can join the course in June. Certainly. We'll have multiple batches. The next batch will start in the last week of March. As soon as we finish data structures algorithms for batch 1, we'll start the second batch. We are imagining that to be most likely by the end of March, by 30th of March or so, we'll have the second batch commencing. So we'll try and do 1 or 2 batches every month. And you can join in June also. But my suggestion is this: if you could join earlier, you would get more time. Imagine during your summer break, right? You all will finish your third year second semesters or second year second semesters exams, and then you would have summer break. If you could put in your energies during the summer break when you don't have typical college work or college coursework, you can cover a lot of content during that period of time. So it's up to you. Make a decision. If you want to take a break after your third year second semester and then join, you can certainly do it. We'll have batches starting every 15 or 30 days. So yeah, so we'll announce the best books for each subject for sure as we research thoroughly. For algorithms, I think in the very first video we have mentioned that CLRS is one of the best books. Certainly, you could also follow Sedgwick's book, which is also a very well written, good book, frankly speaking. But I wouldn't. There is another book that I personally follow along with Wikipedia. Wikipedia is one of the best sources, trust me. So I typically follow CLRS, Sedgwick's book, Wikipedia articles. I follow Wikipedia a lot. And there is Donald Knuth's book. Okay. The problem with Donald Knuth's book is it's humongous. Okay. I think it's a book that only PhD students should study because there is so much to study, right? But I pick up a few concepts from Donald Knuth's books also, some ways of representing and things like that, because some topics are explained brilliantly by Donald Knuth, right? I don't recommend you to follow Donald Knuth's book itself because it's very hectic. I think if you just follow Wikipedia, CLRS, and Sedgwick's book, that's good enough. There is another place which you could also follow, which is go to all the top universities. Go to MIT, go to Stanford, Berkeley, Princeton, major Institute of Science, IIT Kanpur, Kharagpur, Mumbai, IIT Bombay, Madras, etc. Go to all these top institutes. Go to the course where they teach algorithms. All of these universities would teach a data structures and algorithms course. Go to the course website. You can just Google search for it. For example, if you want Stanford, data structures and algorithms or design of algorithms, you'll get a course. You'll get multiple courses taught by multiple professors. Go to those courses and look at the assignment problems there, or look at the tests that they have. Those are a very brilliant source of practice problems because they are designed by some of the best professors and some of the best teaching assistants and some of the best universities. That's another source of great content that you could actually follow if you have additional time. Okay, if you have time, I can suggest you hundreds of things to do. Okay, my suggestion is please don't deviate from the schedule. Don't lag behind. Try to catch up. That's why we are giving you weekends off to catch up, right? Yes, Akshay, that's a good point you mentioned. We'll make a video on this. So this is a video about weightage of each topic and each subject. We've already made that notes ourselves internally. We will do that. So that's a very good point. We will do that surely. We'll make a video on this channel. Once we collate all the data, we'll try and collate data from the last few years of tests, subject wise and topic wise, and we'll put it up for you. Very good suggestion. We'll do that for sure. So Steven is asking, for a third year student, is solving problems of standard textbooks is necessary, or solving practice problems is enough? I would suggest your first priority should be to solve practice problems. Please don't skip them. Okay, once you're finished with practice problems, if you still have time, then go to textbook problems. Okay, some of the practice problems have been taken from some of the best textbooks, by the way. Okay, so, and some of the practice problems are previous GATE questions. Some of the good textbook problems may be harder than GREAT, right? So it might take you more time also. My suggestion is first, please finish the content and the practice problems we give you. If you have additional time, first step is go and solve the exercise problems in standard textbooks like CLRS. If you still have additional time, go to top universities like MIT, Stanford, Berkeley, major IITs, IAC, etc. Go to their algorithms or data structures courses, solve the assignments there, or solve the tests that they have. That's my suggestion. Okay, sounds good, folks. Been a great discussion, even though a short session. Thank you all for joining. Let's experiment with this. Please don't forget to put in your questions and also upvote others' questions that you like, that you want us to answer in the next live session. Both for these 15 questions and for AVL trees and hashing, and also for the content that we'll give you from Monday to Wednesday. Okay, have a good weekend. Spend time with your family and friends. Revise if you have missed out something. So somebody is asking this question: is it right to repeat GATE after getting 9,000 rank in third attempt? I I don't know. So you've already made 3 attempts. So I don't know. Are you sure you want to make one more attempt and drop a year? That's something that you have to work out. My suggestion is just go to our website. We have a form. Just fill that form. We'll any institute. Okay. So what one of my friends. Okay. So what one of my friends is suggesting is instead of dropping a year, it's always best to join the best institute that you would get. Trust me, there are some really brilliant institutes which may not be well known. For example, there is University of Hyderabad right here, very close to where our office is. It's also called the Hyderabad Central University. Similarly, there is Delhi Technology University in Delhi. Some of these are good universities. They have some brilliant professors. They're not very well known, but if you can get admissions to some of these universities, please join, and you can prepare for GATE simultaneously, right? Instead of dropping a year. Sure, sure. So if you're not happy, again, this is a good point. You join the best college or university that you would get in, and if you're not happy with that university, you could always prepare for GATE again, because you've prepared 3 times, right? Probably what is lacking for you is not concepts but practice. Trust me. The only thing that is lacking probably for you is practice. So focus on practice. Or if you're happy with the institute or the university that you've joined, just finish your master's degree there. See, in life, GATE is not the end and all. Trust me. I've seen people who could not crack GATE who have done phenomenal things later in life. If you consistently work hard, results will be on your side, right? So, or if you already have a job offer, if you're already working, continue there, excel there. That's also another option that you have, right? So Mahesh is saying, why not make it 20 questions? We'll see. We'll see. We'll increase this. So we'll start with 15. We'll slowly increase this to 20 as students can cope up with them. Because we initially started off with 15, primarily because this was a live session where we didn't want to spend too much time. We'll see. We'll try and increase them slowly. Okay. It takes a lot of effort to. Some of these questions are original questions which are not copied from anywhere. So it takes us a lot of effort to set up these questions. You'll not find them even in textbooks. We had to literally, some of our teammates had to think very innovatively and set up these questions. So we'll see. We'll try to increase it to 20 if we can. Okay. Sounds good. So as far as somebody is asking about NUS, so yeah, so they also look at profile and things like that. We'll make some videos because I'll also have to research myself, find out from my friends, because I myself did not study at NUS. We are conducting that research on every institute and every major program at institutes. So we will make a bunch of videos and post them on our YouTube channel, covering all of these institutes and programs one by one in detail, right? Also, if you have questions, please go to our website. We also just posted a video about our GATE guidance and counseling for all students. We'll try and answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know an answer, we'll try and find out from others who could help us on that front. Okay, folks, thank you very much. Thank you for joining on a Saturday evening. And I hope this experiment works out well. Let's go down this experiment. I really appreciate the suggestions that you guys have given, and let's do it. Let's see how this experiment turns out. Thank you for joining, and have a good weekend. Spend time with family and friends. Get a break. If you have not slept well, sleep well. And yeah, see you on Monday again with new content.